Welcome back to automated speech recognition. This is a quick little video. It's not really a lecture. I just simply want to point out some things, some potential pitfalls in Lab 11. So let's jump over here. So Lab 11, automated speech recognition number 3. Choose one of the following speech models or speech toolkits and learn how to do ASR using one of their pre-trained models, which we did in the previous one. Just got a quick little review there. Then, after using a pre-trained model, read one of the following tutorials, or both if you're ambitious, that demonstrate how to create your own ASR model. And if you're feeling up to it, try to actually make it work for yourself. The reason I say this last little caveat right there is that it's going to take a long time for these things to run. And so you should probably reduce the number of epochs in the training and or the amount of data that is used to train, so that the training finishes in a relatively short amount of time. That is less than many hours. Okay, so let's look at the speech brain one real quick here. I already have it up right here. So as you're reading through, you can just click on the cells to run the different Python commands and the command line commands as well to download stuff. But I think the most important part of this is simply to understand how you would go about creating your own ASR system from scratch, from your own training data, and creating a model, and then using that model to do ASR. The reason is because when I tried this last year when Dr. Lonsdale and I taught this just last year, and I was on the free version of Google, and mine timed out. And Dr. Lonsdale had the Pro subscription, like a CodeLab Pro, and he said it took 5 hours for this thing to train. Despite the fact that in this notebook from SpeechBrain, they have cut down the training data to just a couple hours of data to try and make it quicker. But even then, it takes upwards of 5 hours. Yeah, right here. For simplicity, training will be done with a small open source data set called Mini Libre Speech, which only contains a few hours of training data. In a real case, you would need much more training material, right? Hundreds or thousands of hours to reach acceptable performance. So the point of this tutorial is just to learn the steps that go into actually creating your own speech ASR model, not to actually create a good one that you could actually use, right? So, but this step right here took an hour and a half. I think it was this one right here. Nope, that's not the one. That was quicker. One of these steps in here I just did before I started the video took an hour and a half. And that was cutting down the number of epochs from 15 down to 1. So let me show you where to do that. I'm just trying to find real quick this step. Train the model, speech recognizer, is this it? Yeah, this step right here. Down here under step 4, speech recognizer, train the speech recognizer. Yeah, this step took an hour and a half, even after I cut down the number of epochs to 1. Okay. So let me show you where you can get the epoch, where you can reduce the number of epochs. So SpeechBrain is built on the idea of a train.py file that is that uses a YAML file. A YAML file is a configuration file. That's something I'd like you to learn about in this tutorial. So if we go to templates, go to speech recognition, and go to ASR, and we go to train YAML. Let me just back up. I just did that kind of quickly. So once you download the data, download SpeechBrain. Let me just back up to the very top of the whole tutorial. Once you get SpeechBrain, this is all talking about different ways of doing ASR. Right in here, if you clone this GitHub repo and get in there and install, it'll create this directory on your notebook. And within that directory, called SpeechBrain, there is templates. Templates is a directory right there. And within that directory, there is speech recognition. And then within that one, there is ASR. And there's other things in here, language model, tokenizer. But here is ASR. And if we look at the YAML, the train.yaml file, if I just double click it, it'll open up in this viewer on the right side. If we jump down to 53, I think it was. Yeah, 53. The default was 15 there. And I think this was 5 there. Excuse me. And I believe that's the configuration that Dr. Lonsdale ran when it took 5 hours. So I just threw these down to 1 just to try and make it work. Excuse me. So anyway, you could try that. Push down the number of epochs, maybe try 2. I don't know. You can kind of mess around with that and see how long it takes you. Oh, by the way, you should turn on GPU under the runtime menu right there. Runtime, change runtime type. Make sure you have this hardware accelerator set to GPU there to try to make things go quicker. But again, my main purpose in having you guys do this is so you can see the steps that go into creating your own ASR system after using one of theirs pre-trained ones. Okay, so this is a pretty long tutorial, so this may take you, if you just simply want to read and understand what's going on, that's most important. But if you want to try and make it work as well as you're reading through, go for it. And the other one here, this from Nemo, I'm not sure how to pronounce that word still, is this Google Colab Introduction to End-to-End Automated Speech Recognition. Okay, so this is from the Nemo system. Kind of same idea. They're teaching you how to do your own ASR. Again, they have a conceptual overview like SpeechBrain had. Probability of audio transcript, time probability of transcript. Good. Anyway, down here, training from scratch. They talk about how to do that, and you have different manifest files. Down in here on the training with PyTorch Lightning, you can see the max epochs right there, 50. If you want to try and make this work, you probably need to push that down to make it finish, in a reasonable amount of time. Okay. And there it starts training. So you declare this training object with the max epochs there. You create this first ASR model object with one of their classes, right, in here. And then you actually do the fit right there, start training. So again, you probably have to reduce the number of epochs and or the training data to make it finish. So if that becomes onerous, just simply read through one of these tutorials or both to understand how to create your own model, your own ASR model. Okay, so that is just a quick video. I don't feel the need to give you more instruction about ASR, like how it works, the theory behind it. In fact, you're going to get a lot reading through one of these tutorials as is. Anyway, I'm asking you first to just use one of their pre-trained models real quick. A couple lines of code can get one of their pre-trained models working. And then obviously the lengthier part of this lab is reading through the tutorial on how to make your own ASR model. Okay, well, as always, I'm super happy to help. So let me know if you have problems. See ya.